This water heater is a little over 6.5 years old and is actually just outside of the manufacturer's warranty. It was leaking from the tank, so we did have to replace it from a home here in New Braunfels. But now that it's out of the home, we're gonna refill it with water, cut open this outer shell, pull out the insulation, and take a look at the actual tank to see where the leak's coming from and what could have caused it. Once we do that, we'll cut open the tank and take a look inside to see what that looks like. So we're gonna start filling it with water here. That way we can pressurize the tank. While that's pressurizing, I'm gonna grab the saw and we'll start cutting open this insulation. This is the 12th or 13th water heater that we replaced in this same neighborhood. All of them are around the same age and have had the exact same issue with either a pinhole in the tank or a leak from the lower element. This is probably one of the worst leaks though that I've seen, with how much water was pouring out of this tank once the insulation and outer shell was removed. The home that this water heater was installed in, as well as many of the other homes that we've replaced their water heaters prematurely, did have water softeners, but the anode rods were all completely gone. The water heater anode rods should be inspected at least once a year just to make sure that they're actually still there and doing their job. Once they're corroded to a certain extent, they should be replaced. The water heater tank should also be flushed yearly to get any debris out from the bottom, like you see here. Because this homeowner did have a water softener installed, there's not a ton of buildup at the bottom here, like you would normally see when a home does not have a water softener, but it's still pretty nasty. The inner shell of the lower portion of this tank does have a few spots where you see rust and corrosion. The top half of the tank, which we're going to take a look at here in a second, is quite a bit worse though. There was also a lot of buildup around the lower element, which we often see fail and leak. On the top portion of the tank, you can see that the anode rod is completely gone and all that's left is that thin wire, which is also rusted, and then all of the other spots that are rusted on the inside of this tank. This tank had one of the worst pinholes that I've seen, with the hole being big enough that you can actually see through it. As you can see, this is why water heater maintenance is so important. Even if you're not concerned with all the buildup in the bottom of the tank, you should still be having these anode rods inspected at least once a year and replaced as needed to help protect the tank and extend its life expectancy. If you're needing a plumber and you're in the New Braunfels, San Antonio area, give us a call. We'd be happy to help.